All right. Well, that was fun. Um, I have no idea what we were watching, especially the first half. That was just, I mean, this whole match, this was just miserable. And again, this is going to be a rant session. I have some notes here that I wrote down on my computer that I want to share with you guys. I want to hear what your rants for. Comment them down below. What are your thoughts? Again, it's dropping points is one thing, losing is one thing, playing poorly is one thing, but it was the entire approach. And yes, Hansi Flick is 100% to blame for this match. 100%. Due to the circumstances of the situation for this weekend, Barcelona didn't particularly play well their last match, and then they come into this match, and Atletico and Real Madrid are playing the following day. Now, when you're watching this video, they're playing tomorrow. Maybe they're playing today. Maybe they already played, so you might already know what happened after you're watching this video. But Barca had a chance to potentially take a 7-point edge on Madrid, and what does Hansi Flick do? On the road against a pretty good Osasuna team. I mean, they were 3-2-2, I think, before this match. Lamine Yamal, Raphinha, Casado, Inigo Martinez, and Balde, all on the bench. What? I can understand one of them on the bench, but all five? And, like, at least, start them, get a lead, and then start subbing them off. This is my issue. Flick has had countless of opportunities, and this is mostly geared toward Lamine Yamal. How many matches has Lamine Yamal played 90 minutes? Barcelona has shown in several matches 7-1 win, 5-1 win, comfortable wins that we knew Barcelona was going to win that match. Why is he playing 90 minutes? Because if you want to rest Lamine Yamal, sub him off in the 70th minute. Don't just not start him until the 56th, 60th minute when you're already down 2-0 or 2-1 whenever he came out in this match. That game plan from Hansi Flick was just, it was terrible. If you want to rest your players, sub them off properly when you know you're going to win the match. Don't just keep them on the bench when you have a big match and Real Madrid is playing Atletico Madrid the next day. That's pretty much my entire complaint for the entire match, is why he would do this in an important match, especially with what's on the line for this weekend. Now, in terms of player performances, I mean, I think as soon as Szczesny is ready and comfortable and warmed up, he'll be starting. Again, I'm not blaming Pena, but the guy's not very good. I think Szczesny will be the number one keeper probably by November, and I think a lot of us want to see that. Number two, how long is Barcelona going to continue this high line? Because as I've stated before, it's shown it can be effective, but against good teams, they're going to get so exposed. They got exposed against Osasuna, and I get it. Inigo Martinez wasn't in, but still, they got exposed several times, and that was a reason for at least two of the goals. Bayern Munich and Real Madrid, if this is how Barcelona plays defensively, look, let's just get real. They will get exposed. They will score 2, 3 goals, maybe 4 goals. If this is how Barcelona approaches those matches, I understand, not as experienced, but this Dominguez center back should not be playing. He's just not ready for this level of football. The first goal, him and Cabarsi weren't marking up. The second goal, he was caught too high up, and Pena got beat from that skill move. The third goal was the penalty, and the fourth goal, I really don't even remember because I was partially recording while that was going on. He's just not ready for this type of play yet, and it is what it is. And Barcelona, as you can see, they are hurting without Christensen and without Araujo, and they need them back as soon as possible. And the fact that after the first half, and Inigo Martinez didn't sub him off, and the fact that Ferran Torres played the entire match, it's just terrible execution from Flick. Again, we can praise him for a lot. He's done a lot of good, but there are some bad things that he still has to fix. The high line is going to come back and bite Barcelona in the ass, and we're already seeing it, kind of like I mentioned the last few matches. Gerard Martin was a liability at times. We didn't have any attacking support from the left-hand side. I feel like the entire match, the only person that was trying to start some sort of attack and was playing, I wouldn't even say it was his best match, but he stood out one of the most out of the entire team was Koundé. In the first half, yes, he wasn't marking up as good on the first goal. I think, whatever, like shit happens, but he was the only player that was a constant in the attack every single time that made stuff happen. Like everybody else was completely useless. Pedri was struggling. He was frustrated in the midfield because Eric Garcia would consistently give the ball away. Torre just, I don't know. He's got a lot of work to do. He's okay, but again, it wasn't his best match. And Pedri, you could see he was extremely frustrated. Lewandowski, extremely frustrated. I mean, it was a disaster class. And I think if you start this match how you should have started the match, this doesn't happen. Maybe you don't win the match, but it definitely, the entire first half, it changes drastically. And again, we all notice it, so there's no reason to beat a dead horse. But why on earth, like how on earth actually, is Ferran Torres on this team? It's just, it's gotten to the point now. It's just, I've never seen a Spanish player this poor from like a technical standpoint. There were several times this match alone, he couldn't even settle the ball down. He couldn't bring it down and take a clean touch. I mean, it was just absolutely terrible. He had this one moment in the second half where he beat like two or three players and shot at the keeper made a save. I was like, who am I watching right now? Besides that, I mean, the guy was completely useless. And the fact that they took off Lewandowski, I honestly, I have no idea why on earth you would take off Lewandowski. That makes zero sense and leave on Ferran Torres. It's just very frustrating. And, you know, just the way that I see things is I bet Real Madrid probably wins. Now they do have Mbappe that's out, so that's going to be interesting to see how they approach the match. I assume they're going to play exactly how they played last year with Bellingham playing as that like cam false nine role and then Vinicius and Rodrigo as the two forwards. But what a terrible performance. And honestly, last match wasn't a good match either. They got lucky to score that goal that Lewandowski scored. Let's just be honest. And they missed a couple chances as well. It needs to be better from a finishing standpoint, and the defense is extremely shaky. Barcelona is going to be lucky if they can make it through 2024, still in first place in La Liga with the way this defense looks. Because up until today, I don't know how they've only conceded 5 or 6 goals or however much it was. This defense is not very good, and they're extremely young and inexperienced, and Koundé is a fantastic right back, but he's not able to keep up with these quick players. Like the player that crossed the ball on their first goal, he got beat because Koundé was a little slow to kind of mark up on him and he was standing too far away. He needed to be closer to him. I just fear against Real Madrid when they play them or when he plays against Musiala, they're going to do a very good job at keeping him off balanced, getting crosses in and beating him down the line. That's my biggest concern with Koundé. Other than that, I think he's a fantastic player. But even with Inigo Martinez, they struggle to mark up defensively. This high line, it just makes me nervous as hell. Honestly, there's no way they can continue to play like this against these top tier teams. They're going to get completely exposed. And for the love of God, honestly, you can never, ever, it doesn't matter who it is, you cannot start your captain, Lamine Yamal, Casado, Balde, and Inigo Martinez. I'm just blown away, honestly. Like, it's honestly hilarious that Flick decided to do that this match. And it wasn't just like, fine, like start Lamine Yamal on the bench. Fine. 5 starters. Like Casado he's been insane. Like, why? I don't know. And then Champions League next week, luckily they're playing Young Boys, which they should win that match 4-5-0, 100%. But they have not been in great form. I mean, the Monaco, we can, kind of write that off because of the red card. They've not looked good the last week or two. And this has to change because October, they have big Champions League matches. They play Bayern and they also play Real Madrid. They got to fix something, and we better hope that we can get Christensen and Araujo healthy as soon as possible, and hopefully we can get Frankie de Jong and Gavi back in the squad because we need help. And, fine, normally, yeah, fine, put Casado on the bench, give him some rest, but then luckily, hopefully you'd have Frankie de Jong and Gavi in, but no, you have Eric Garcia who gives the ball away all the time, and then Pablo Torre who's just extremely inexperienced, so you're stuck with Pedri trying to do everything. Pedri was fine. I mean, I can't really complain about him. I can't say anything bad. He made a couple great passes. It was just a bad performance, and I hope you guys enjoyed this rant. I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. What are your thoughts moving forward? What are your thoughts about the Real Madrid Atletico match? Yeah, this sucked. Honestly, this sucked. So thank you guys for listening to my rant today. I appreciate you guys sticking around. If you guys enjoyed this rant and want to hear more, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys back here next time on the GRETT Show.